that. Yep. All right, it is a little after 352, so we are live in the 352 today. I'm Sandy Moore. I'm the Executive Director for the Leesburg Area Chamber of Commerce, and this is a program that we do for our members to highlight our businesses in the city of Leesburg and in the surrounding areas. But today, we have a special edition of Live in the 352 as we are preparing for Hurricane Irma, as everyone else is. And so we have with us the city manager, Al Minner, and the fire chief, David Johnson. And we're going to find out how the city is preparing for Irma. Hi, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
We are really glad to have you. Thank you so much. I know you guys are very busy preparing for the hurricane with the city, but I don't know who wants to start, but can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with the preparations within the city and what we can expect here?
Well, generally what we do every year, David Johnson, our fire chief, is designated our EOC. So he's our EOC commander, Emergency Operations Center commander. So when we go into these type of situations where we're dealing with storms or natural disasters or even major events, David is generally in charge of that. It's kind of his natural matriculation from his fire duties. So when these type of situations come up, I think we've got a pretty experienced team. These things on the weather front come up every now and again, but every year through Bike Fest and some other events that we do, the whole city in large is really versed at operations and safety stuff and emergency preparedness. So with that, David is basically in charge of most of this stuff. We've been communicating with other cities, the county, making sure everything is in place, making sure everything is fueled up, ready to go. IT is prepping our Emergency Operations Center, which is why we're out here in front of the police station. So, Dave, what else have we been doing? I mean, we've been doing a number of things.
Yeah. When it comes to emergency management, the city basically is redistributed with their functions and their job responsibilities. You may see people that may be in customer service now. They're over there answering the phones to answer some of the citizens' questions. Police and fire will continue what they're doing. All of the public safety, when it comes to public works, electric, trying to get everybody back to regular operations at home. That is our main goal, to make sure everyone's safe and we can get back into the recovery mode so we can get everyone back up and running and get back to normal life. When it comes to this hurricane, for information, you can go to the website, you can go to the city website. There is a link to get you to the Lake County website, which is the Lake County Emergency Management. It will give you hurricane preparedness links where you can look up certain things to get. Right now, the governor is advising that we all prepare for about a 3-day stint to be self-sufficient for about 3 days in case you lose power. It takes a lot for the water to get turned off, but if you are in some of those areas where you may lose water, you need to have enough water there, enough to eat, just basically sustain your family for about 3 days. After that, we should be moving forward with the recovery phase of this, which it could take a little longer based on how much actual damage is done to the infrastructure. Right now, they're looking at Irma as coming up somewhat of the spine of Florida. I could not tell you exactly what the strength of the storm will be at this time, but right now, they're constantly monitoring the storm. The last forecast has it coming somewhere across southern regions of Florida and some point going back out into the Atlantic, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But the best thing to do right now, if you do need special services, make sure you go to those websites. The Leesburg website, that'll give you a link to the Lake County website, where it'll give you a link to the shelters. There are some special shelters in the area. I think Leesburg Elementary is designated as a special needs, which means if you need some type of oxygen, there'll be certain people there that can assist you with that. But make sure that if you have medications, or any type of thing that you may need to sustain yourself when it comes to your medical needs, that you have them with you. And if you get transplanted or moved to a shelter, you have what you need, because they will not be able to get your drugs. We may or may not be able to get out to fill your prescriptions. I would say if you have some prescriptions, to go out there and fill them now. Call your doctors. You may need to get an emergency script for that, but we need to get all this filled, so you may need to get by for 3, maybe the max 5 days before we can get you back to your normal. But we have to see where the storm is going to take us right now.
Well, and I noticed that there was some in front of one of your fire stations. They had sand there for people who need sandbags. Are there other things that are
There are sandbags throughout the county. There's about 5 fire stations that have them. In Leesburg, we have it on Griffin Road. We've already gone through about 3 truckloads of sand already.
The sandbags are a help yourself type of thing. So there's sand there, there's shovels there, there's bags there. Again, it's at the Griffin Road fire station here in Leesburg, and it's open to anybody, whether you're a Leesburg resident or a county resident. I think the biggest thing to remember in this type of thing is just use common sense. And if power will go out, use the city website, call in. Because of our smart grid, we're going to know you're out probably before you even call us. So we're going to dispatch crews. One of the things the utilities has done in preparation for the storm is to prep materials, prep supplies, make sure our mutual aid contracts are up to speed. So we'll get out there as quick as you can. If power lines are down because of the storm or things that you think are power lines, stay away from any type of down wire. Don't start your generator in your garage. Make sure you have plenty of water. If you can't get out to the store and get water, make sure you fill up your bathtub. So use common sense stuff. And before the storm comes, make sure you visit the city website or the county website, and all of those emergency updates are up to speed and giving you information. Even use the NOAA website. That is really the most up-to-date, accurate information on where the storm is going. So use common sense, be careful, and the best thing to do is to stay in your home.
Now, what if you do have an emergency during the storm? I mean, I know that there's limited access at certain wind speeds. What should they be doing?
There are some protocols when it comes to emergency vehicles responding. It's also with any type of public safety, whether it be electric, gas, water. It's about 45 miles an hour. We have sustained winds about 45 miles an hour. You will not see an emergency vehicle out riding around going to an emergency. You still can call 911. They will take your call and they will prioritize it. Once the winds come down a little bit, the emergency vehicles will go out and go through those calls based on that prioritization. So,
and I don't think anywhere in Lake County has had any kind of evacuation warnings or anything like that. But where if somebody's say somebody's in a home, manufactured home or a mobile home, when would they need to?
Well, right now, the only county that I'm in, just for whenever you're watching this, it's about 4 o'clock on Wednesday, the 6th, right? So the only county that I'm aware of that's had a mandatory evacuation is Monroe. Dade County is preparing to do that. I think that will probably be issued tomorrow. But as far as Lake County goes, we don't have a mandatory evacuation issued. If that is done, it probably won't be till Friday or even until later on Saturday or Sunday. So again, we anticipate that you'll have your power up until that time frame, through Saturday. So just be sure to keep in touch and watch the websites and the emergency channels. We'll all have that information posted, the county website and the city website.
And I do want to mention one more thing. I know there's probably people out there that have pets. If they do have to evacuate, do we have some pet-friendly shelters that you can
we
tell
do
them
have
about?
pet-friendly shelters there on the website.
And they need to bring probably pet food.
You
but
need
it's
to
all
bring
on the
whatever you need for
website.
that pet for those 3 days. It's a self-sustaining business when it comes to emergency management.
Very good. Well, is there anything else you think that we need to know?
Just be safe, be smart, and be patient.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for joining us for another Live in the 352. We look forward to seeing you next week. Please be safe during the storm, and best wishes.